Now, Friday Night Glory here at Standridge Stadium, 55-13. The Colony beats Newman Smith. Coach Rudy Rangel here with us. Coach, can you just tell me about that win over the Trojans?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about the way our kids came out. After a tough week last week against Prosper, came out really motivated. I told them probably 5 or 6 times during the week how impressed I was with their work ethic and their practice habits and how that's always going to come out good for us. I was really excited. I really felt good about coming into the game because of our week of practice. Really strong.
Coach, heading into the postseason, obviously one more game left in the regular season. What do you want to build off of, maybe this big win or even going into next week heading into postseason play?
Yeah, first and foremost, I want to make sure we get healthy going in and have a full unit of guys, which we're relatively healthy right now. That week is going to be really good before we get to the playoffs. But after that, I just want our guys to just concentrate on one play at a time. One of our mottos is deep roots and just tradition, and that starts every day. I want to win play one on Monday, man. I'm going to go in there tomorrow in our team meeting and talk about what we have to do to win play one of 20 plays a team on Monday, not even look at anything else.
Coach, can you tell me next week how you might adjust from this game heading into next week, going into the week 11 into postseason play? Do you make any I want to say depth decisions that might affect your play further into the postseason? Yeah,
we're definitely going to look at a lot of different things, and we played some young kids tonight that are really up and coming stars for us, and they played really, really well. One that comes to mind is Lance Anderson, who's a sophomore, he's one of our top JV kids. He's the one that had the pick at the end. And we'll look at all that, one thing at a time. But I'm not gonna do anything at all but try to beat R.O. Turner. They got a good football team, good coaching staff. I want to get after those guys, and I want to have some momentum playing good football going into the playoffs. So we'll get after those guys like anybody else.
Coach, obviously y'all won the turnover battle tonight. A lot of great turnovers, great interceptions, fumbles recovered. Can you just tell me, I know this wasn't a perfect game for y'all. Is there anything that you need to clean up heading into next week and beyond?
Yeah, there's always things we got to look at and clean up. We missed a PAT, which was very disappointing for me. Anytime we don't operate on special teams like that, we can always tackle a little bit better. And then we missed some assignments on really both sides of the ball that we were really trying to get after these guys and talk about at halftime. And we came out and had to punt first series coming out, which was very disappointing. Not to have that kind of intensity coming out of halftime and not being able to have the mindset that it's 0-0. So we're going to work on all those things during the week and just get that stuff fixed.
Coach, I thought about this when you guys had such a great lead heading into the fourth quarter, but I just had to ask. We talked about, Myquan and myself talked about all the big plays that led to scores and how that might adjust your perspective on a game. Do you think that maybe you just need to work on those few plays that you only got a couple of yards, that you only got 1.5 to 2 to 3 yards to actually develop a game instead of the 34 to 68 yard gains that wind up blowing up a scoreboard like a 55-13 win? Yeah,
absolutely. You always, like I said, so every play is designed to score. You guys know that. And we'll go back and look at the film and correct what you can correct, but big plays are part of the game. We're pretty excited. We really haven't had many this year, to be honest with you. We've been obviously with our offense being a ground and pound pro style offense, we're used to the 5-yard carry. Our phrases and coinage is always about 3.5 yards, man, and we celebrate every 3.5 yard play. And we'll look at the end of the night how many of those we got, and then we'll go back to work and fix the ones we didn't get fixed.
Coach, actually, just out of curiosity, I love the pro-style offense myself, and I saw y'all running that a lot through the first quarter. What made you want to switch to more of a shotgun-style run offense? Well,
the key is that we run the pro-style offense, and that's 95% of what we do. But I wanted to get in some empty stuff and throw it. And in the playoffs, man, you got to stay balanced. And I want to make sure that we're keeping everything fine-tuned. So it was a very specific move on my part to throw the ball a little more in a second, and make sure we're getting some of our wide sets and get some work. Jamel Jones, the quarterback you guys interviewed, is an Elite 11 kid, and he can do it all. And so I just always want to make sure that we're sharp, because there's going to be some times, especially that Frisco district play, and then after that you'll play Marshall or Wiley East, and you're going to play some teams that are going to put 8-9 in the box, and we got to be able to do things against that. So that's the reason why I did that.
Coach, heading into Week 10 or heading into the final game of the season, I know it's always a tricky situation when you do have that playoff position clinched. If you need to make adjustments, maybe you work on them heading into the 10th game. Just curious, heading into tomorrow's practice, that warm-up, that loosen up, kind of loosen up your legs after a big win. What do you guys do from there heading into the next week, really to prepare for the rest of the postseason?
Yeah, like I said, we break it down from one day. Tomorrow we'll watch film, we'll lift, enjoy this victory. We do a really big celebration with awards and stuff after a big win, and give awards out for Uncommon Man, and the boys just love it. And then my coaching staff and I, we call it the anatomy of the team, and we'll spend all day Sunday preparing. When they walk in at 6:45 on Monday morning for our team meeting, it's about R.L. Turner. And nothing else matters but those guys, and again, just win and play one on Monday's practice. Over and over and over, I just keep trying to get that in these kids' heads. It's not about next week or 2 weeks. It's about the first play, executing that play, then going to play two, and that's kind of the mindset our kids have now. It's a pretty good deal.
Well, thank you so much,
Absolutely.
Coach. It was a pleasure to watch you play. I appreciate it so much.